Welcome to Tyro TV. I'm Ron Tiarina.
And I'm Cathy Tiarina. And for those of you that don't know who we are, Ron and I are the co-founders of the Ridge Project and the co-creators of Tyro.
Tyro is a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior.
Ooh-wee. When we talk about a warrior, we mean someone that is warring to become a leader in their home, their community, and their workplace.
You know, this is really, really dear to our hearts. This is really important. What we get to do today, we get to impart what we learned through our prison experience, our poverty experience, our entitlement mentality experience, our knucklehead experience, our lameness experience, you know, our domestic violence and all that type of issues. Experience. Just a crazy life prior to prison, right? And then when we found ourselves doing time together and waking up, that we were blessed to really become aware of how did we get here.
And now, not just how do we get here, how did we get to the place that we're at, and now how do we help other people also establish a legacy of a strong family within their family? And that's what we're really passionate about. And so I want to apologize because today I've got a head cold. I've got some stuffiness going on.
You got something going on.
Something going on. So if I sound a little nasally, I want to apologize. But it's important to me. We're really passionate about helping you become the best dad you can so that you can develop a legacy for your children to live up to.
Well, you know, I want to thank you for coming in to work today, honey. I really do.
Well, you're welcome, sir.
You know? So you know what? Today we're going to talk about something that I know we hear it a lot. You know, are you a hater? Do you know any haters? Have you ever been a hater?
Right.
But we want to talk something about how do you ignore the haters?
Ooh-wee.
How do you pull up that defense where, you know what, they might throw 1,000 arrows at you or 10,000 arrows at you, but they always fall off.
Yes, and how do you stop your haters from stopping you, right? Like, what does that really look like? How do you overcome every one of the criticisms out there? And I guarantee you have haters. If you don't think you have haters, then you're living blind. You've got your head in the sand. Because the truth is, everybody has a hater. Whether you are living on welfare and you've never left your block, or you're the president of the United States, or you're the king or queen of another country, doesn't matter, you've got haters. And so that's why it's really important that you stay tuned today, because we're going to talk to you about how do you ignore your haters so that you don't let them stop you from living up to your destiny.
So you don't want to miss this episode of Tyro TV. We guarantee you will be blessed, you will be taking notes, and you will be empowered to go to the next level. So stay tuned, and we will be right back.
Tyro Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You'll begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. Tyro Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine Tiarina's own personal experiences. Tyro Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions. To own it, you'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of Tyro, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a Tyro, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to Tyro TV. I'm Ron Tiarina.
And I'm Cathy Tiarina.
And today we're talking about how to ignore
the haters.
You know, and the thing about it is, being real is it takes one to what?
No one.
It takes one to know one. And we have to really recognize that we have been haters in people's lives.
Right.
We have hated on them. We've been jealous. We've done things to stop people from growing, from becoming successful.
Yeah, when we were asleep, we were right there with everybody else. And that was like, wow, if they're successful, you know, that's not fair. And I can't be successful if they're successful. When we woke up, which was during Ron's incarceration, we realized, you know what? Their success or lack of success has nothing to do with ours. We can be successful and everybody around us can be successful, and it does not diminish our success. Whoa,
so
that's
what,
a big deal.
So what is a hater? Haters. This defines for us what a hater is. Having anger towards everyone reaching success.
That's right.
That's what that stands for. When you're jealous and you're angry about somebody else's success, you're a hater.
Right. When you feel like, wow, if they're successful, that somehow makes you less successful or less worthy of success, then you are still stuck in entitlement and being in a hater mentality. So what we're talking about is people that are hating against you, right? And you all have haters. Those haters might be right there with you inside the institution, or they might be back at home, talking about you either to your kids, to your family, to your lady, or just about you, and you don't even know what they're saying. But I guarantee you, you have got haters in your life.
So Dad, also, we want to bring this all the way home, right? Because of the situation that got you where you're at today, right? And then you have the haters around you when you're trying to change, you're trying to be better, and you're trying to grow inside the penitentiary. Dads, listen, because your greatest purpose of your life is for your family's sake, right? So this is why you're sobering up, getting pumped up, motivated, and doing everything it takes to leave that institution successful. Not bitter, but better, right? So when this happens, right, things are at your family, right? They're going to have haters also in their lives.
Yeah.
They're going to have haters in their lives because of why you're in prison, right?
Yeah.
Because how is your family still staying intact?
Right.
How is it you're defying all types of odds?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, and so haters are going to try to put obstacles in front of you to keep you from becoming successful. Now listen, we know firsthand about haters. We have so many haters. We tell people all the time, either people love us and what we do and are all in supporting us, or they hate us. There's like no middle ground, right? And so the people that hate us, they'll say all kinds of stuff about us. You know what? You know what he did. You know what he went to prison for. You know what she used to be. You know what they used to do. And they're always, the only thing they have is stuff that way back, people we aren't even anymore. But that's the only thing they have, and so they'll pick it up and try to throw it and see if it'll stick. And guess what?
It don't stick. It don't stick. But listen, even the people in your life, what is a hater? A hater is somebody that doesn't love themselves. A hater is somebody who is short-sighted about the greatness of themselves. Right. This is what a hater is.
So they live in judgment all the time.
All the time. And so when you're looking at, the people around you, misery loves company. And if you're associating yourself with people who are always complaining, people who are always backbiting on somebody else, talking, gossiping and wanting to hear the dirt about somebody.
Always making fun of your dreams and your passions and things that you say you're going to do or that you're trying to do, and they're always cutting you down and making fun of you for it. Those are haters.
And if you're practicing that type of behavior, guess what you are?
You're a hater, right? And so we have to develop tools, and we have to develop skills and a mindset to be able to ignore the haters inside so that you can take that same principle outside. And not only are you doing it for you, but you're doing it for your kids. Because as your kids watch you and they see that, wow, people are saying bad stuff about you, but that's not who you are, and you don't let it infect how you think and how you react to the world around you, it will change everything for you.
As you stop this one, we're going to talk deeper into as we get into what a hater is and ignoring the haters, because you're now on a path of success. You're on a path to where you were able to combat your own hatred of your actions, the things that you may have done and the things that were done to you. So you dealt with those issues. Now listen, this is the process of healing. We talk about healing a broken heart at one time, right? How do you heal yourself? Well, listen, you have to recognize it takes one to know one, whatever that is. If you're a man of courage and strength, and you can recognize courage and strength when you see it, right? But if you're a hater, you recognize hater when you see it, because it takes one to know one. So those principles apply here. So when you're on the path of self-improvement, right? And you're no longer...
the haters are going to come out, right?
And they're going to come and they're going to say, why you? Who do you think you are? You forgot your place, all these type of things. And you have to remain steadfast, Dad. You have to remain steady, because this is part of your BIT. Tyros, do you guys remember what BIT stands for? Right? Basic individual training. This is what you're being trained for, Dad. As a Tyro, you're ready to embrace this challenge and become and have victory in it.
So what we're talking about is people that are hating against you, that having anger towards everyone reaching success, the acronym for haters, having anger towards everyone reaching success. And so you can't, the thing is, you can't get mad when people are hating against you, because that means that you are making progress. That means that you're doing something different, and it's causing them to feel challenged in their own life, right?
Because now the light's on them.
Right. So if you've always been hanging, I'm going to use a very simple analogy or a very simple example. If you've always hung out with people that didn't know how to read, you couldn't read and nobody else around you, they were just like, hey, you know what? That makes you feel good because you're around other people that can't read. As soon as you start to learn to read, the people around you are challenged That wow, if Ron can read, if he's making the effort, gosh darn it, that puts pressure on me to make the effort. And so rather than live up to that pressure, what I'm going to do is say, gosh, who do you think you are? You're too old to learn that. Put that down. Why are you even trying? Because that alleviates pressure for me.
So listen, when we come back, we're going to take a small break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about why this is so important on how to ignore your haters. So you don't want to miss this. So stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. Tyro Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through Family Days. As a Tyro Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to Tyro TV. I'm Ron Tiarina.
And I'm Cathy Tiarina.
I'm Ron Tiarina, formerly known as
250397.
Ooh, you got that memorized, baby.
Oh gosh, I wish I didn't. How many visits I went in and said, I'm here to see 250397.
Oh, I didn't even say my name, but isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Didn't even say my name.
Oh.
Wow. I'm here to see 250397.
And today on Tyro TV, we're having a great time talking about how to ignore your haters. And so we learned through our own journey, right, as we've gone through 15 years in prison, 2 years of parole, and establishing the Ridge Project and trying to go back in, well, not just trying, we are going back in and helping other people become successful. And we have a lot of people that are just criticizing all the time. We have a lot of people that support, but we have a lot of people that criticize, and it's really easy, right? We see this happen all the time. It's really easy for people to let their haters take them down, to let them stop. Hey, you're never gonna do this. Why even try? And then they're like, man, what am I thinking? They're right. I can't do this. And they give up. And so we're here to tell you, do not give up. Ignore those haters.
Don't give up. Listen, those haters, they're going to be your motivators. I tell people all the time, listen, you need them in your life to give you that extra push, right? They don't know their role in their life. They might be at that moment. Your haters might hate on you at the beginning, but 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road, whatever it might be, that same person who's hating on you might come to you and say, hey, are you hiring?
Right.
Right? And that's amazing, and that's great. And because we didn't take it personal, listen, Tyros, D-tip, don't take it personal. Because they're there in your life to motivate you. So you got to let your haters be your what? Motivators. Let them pump you, let them excite you so you can prove them wrong. This gives you that unction and that strength, that extra boost you need to get up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm going to prove them wrong. You know what, they might think they're trying to stop me, but they don't even know that they're the fuel. They're the fuel in my gas tank to keep me going.
That's absolutely right. We had somebody say, oh my gosh, look at Ron and Cathy Tiarina. You know what, I knew them back then. They're just reinventing themselves. Like it was a criticism. And we're like, yeah, you know what? We have reinvented ourselves.
And it's right. It was our job to reinvent ourselves.
That's right. And that's your job to reinvent yourself. So when you hear people say things and the things might have some grain of truth to it, they might be talking about, you know what? Joey used to do this crazy stuff all the time, and you know what? You couldn't take him at his word, and now he's just trying to prove that he's somebody different. You say, you know what? He's absolutely right. I used to do that, and he's absolutely right. I'm trying to prove I'm not that person anymore, and watch me. You don't believe me? Just watch.
Oh, yeah. Sing it, Bruno.
I would sing it, but I got this really bad cold.
So, listen, and we're talking about, why is this important? Listen, we all need cheerleaders in our lives.
Yeah.
We need people to celebrate us. But if you're not celebrating the guy next to you, you can't get mad when nobody's celebrating you.
And if you're not ignoring the haters, you're buying into what they're saying, and then you're becoming this complaining, whining, self-defeated person. And now you will not be able to achieve your dreams, and you're teaching your kids that when they face resistance, give up.
Oh my goodness. When you teach the next generation, when you teach the people around you that it's okay to feed into it, to acknowledge it, to where you're draped off in it. When you go Jerry Springer on somebody, right? That's all about jealousy. That's all about hatred. That's all about keeping people down. That's what, listen to me. That's that Jerry syndrome or Jerry Springer syndrome, right? That those shows are made to bring the worst out of people, right? And people pay money for that type of drama, right?
That's right.
But listen,
because they love to hear it, because they want to be validated in their own hating against people, their own criticizing nature. And so they when they see that, it validates them that, hey, you know what? What I'm doing is okay. I'm not as bad as that, but I'm okay to be like that because look what's happening.
And it's not okay.
It's not okay.
It is not okay because you have the power now to influence the next generation, Dad, your children and your children's children. The next generation to grow up being free from hating on others, being free from being jealous, being free from trying to play catch up or have what the Joneses had, or stop others from reaching their greatest achievement in life.
Because remember, their success is not telling you can't be successful. Somebody else becoming successful around you should be a success for you to say, let me celebrate that. Say this, I have the power.
Ready?
Come on. I have the power. Because you do have the power to change your destiny. It doesn't matter what other people are saying about you because they're going to keep talking about you. Let your success just speak for itself. You have the power to become successful.
So here's the secret, okay? And I want to go a little bit. You know, when you're hearing the haters come at you and you're listening to it, maybe you read an article in the paper about you in the past, and maybe there was a news clip about you, and maybe it was really ugly.
Right.
And maybe it was true.
And maybe it was only partly true. And maybe it was totally untrue.
You know what? But that doesn't define who you are, Dad.
Right.
That was an event that took place in your life. You got to have the mindset that was an event, and that is not my lifestyle.
It does not define who I am. So I might have made this mistake, and then they put all this, made up all the rest of the stuff around it. You know what? Stop letting that define who you are. Stop letting other people dictate your story and who you are. You have the power to overcome that. You have the power to face it. You have the power to resist the urge to give up when people criticize you and say all kinds of crazy stuff about you. They're gonna do it anyway. So let them talk in vain, and then and then people be like, wow, you know what? I met them. That's not who they are at all, right?
So listen, we got to take a break at this segment, but we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how to really work this out. How do you walk this type of principle out where you have the ability to ignore your haters? So stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Dear son, it's been hard these last few years, watching you grow up without me in the picture. Never taking the time to find out how you were or what was going on in your life. You're just a boy, I thought. You don't need me. I didn't need my dad. He was never around, I told myself. But I was wrong, son. I'm supposed to be a grown man. I was selfish. I was stupid. I was thinking of me, not you. If I could go back, son, and change things, I would. It's taken me all this time being selfish to finally grow up and realize I need to be a responsible man. That's what I finally learned, not from prison, but the Tyro program. It's all about becoming a better, stronger man. Wish I would have gotten it sooner. Everything looks different to me now. I'm a changed person. I know I need to be there for you now. It's not about me anymore. It's not about being cool. It's not about who I run with. It's about Mom. It's about you. It's about being a better man, learning something new in my life. It's about being a Tyro, a man worth following. I'm your dad. You're my son, and I love you. I am a Tyro. I'm a Tyro. Dad.
If you think you have what it takes to be a Tyro or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to Tyro TV. I'm Ron Tiarina.
And I'm Cathy Tiarina.
And today we're talking about how to ignore your haters.
Ooh-wee. This is a big deal because if you don't ignore your haters, I guarantee you they're going to take you out. You're going to miss out on your destiny.
You know, when we talk about the word ignore, there's a little bit of a caveat to that I want to share, because we're not saying be blinded by them.
Right.
You know, we're not saying that be in denial that they're there, right? We're saying don't let them influence you to moving forward. Don't let them influence you to cause you to stop. Don't let them influence you to where you start believing what they're saying about you, right? And that's what we mean by when we say ignore your haters. Look in the mirror every morning and say, I am a champion.
Right.
This is you know, you got to start changing your mantra about yourself, because if you
I
start,
have the power to overcome. I am a champion.
Because if you start saying what they're saying about you, then you're going to become that which they're saying, right?
Now, the thing is, when Ron talks about don't just ignore them, like pretend that they don't exist, because when your haters are saying things about you or they're saying things to you, your job is always to look at that and say, okay, is there any truth in that about who I am today? And if there is, then that means that is my next item on my list of things I need to improve on in my continuous improvement plan. Now that's a big deal, because now you're taking what your haters are doing, you're ignoring them, meaning that you're not letting them stop you, but you're listening to say, hey, okay, maybe that's true. You know what? I was inconsistent. I need to work on that. Let me write that down and let me prove them wrong by being consistent.
Or if it isn't wrong, say, you know what, man, I need to work on that, as Cathy was saying, so that I can change.
Right.
Right? Say, man, I didn't realize that was my behavior. I appreciate you bringing it out to me. Let me take that criticism, whether they meant it for good or evil.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Check it out. Examine yourself, right? So one of the things I want to share with you on how to, you know, you don't have to toot your own horn, Dad. You know, as a leader, not everybody's going to agree with your leadership delivery or your skills. You know, they may even misunderstand the way you lead, right? Because we're on this continuous improvement plan. Right? And so what I want to share with you is let your success, Father, let your success, Dad, speak for you.
That's right.
Right? You don't got to toot your horn. You don't got to come out and be so flamboyant that people are like, man, this guy's always bragging. No, man, you don't got to do that. Your success will speak so loudly that the haters, it will overpower
what the haters are saying.
What the haters are saying.
That's right. And so that I love that. Like, so one of the key things, okay, so we already talked about two things. We talk about how. The first thing is like, okay, recognize what they're saying and determine whether or not that's your next item, right? How do you get better if you're still acting like that or doing that? Okay, you know what? I got to do something different in that area. And then number two, let your success speak for itself. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to call them up. Man, why are you going to say this? You know I'm not doing that. You know in the last 3 years that I've been sober. You know in the last 10 months I've been doing this or doing that. You don't have to do that. As a matter of fact, don't do that. So number two is let your success speak for itself. You just keep doing the right thing and stay on that continuous improvement plan.
And when we think about number three, celebrate others.
Big deal.
This is a big deal. This is how it helps you stay in check, that you don't walk or fall into the trap of becoming a hater again.
Right.
Right? Because it takes one to know one, right? So you practice the principle and the discipline of celebrating others. Because if you want somebody to celebrate you, you have to celebrate somebody first.
Right. And so as you celebrate other people, it gets harder and harder for people to hate on you. It's like, gosh darn it, because more and more people are like, you know what, that wasn't my experience at all. So that even goes back to the first two of, finding the places you need to continuous improvement, let your success speak for itself, and then celebrate others. And the next one is, and this one is going to sound crazy, you are even going to be speaking well of your haters, right? And so you can't get caught up in criticizing your haters and trying to take them down, because then what does that do? That takes you down to their level, and then that makes them right.
So, Cathy, I heard what you said, and I get it, but you know what? I don't have anything good to say about them.
Right. Then don't say anything.
Oh,
we've heard that from our grandma and our mama,
man,
right? We
that's
hear that
tough,
all the
right?
time.
If you don't got nothing good to say about somebody, right?
Shut your mouth.
Be quiet, man, because what happens is you fuel what you're feeling.
Right.
Right? You fuel it, and then before you know it, you're going to be saying it so loud that the people around you say, dude, you're doing what they do.
Right.
You're criticizing what they're doing, but right now, that's who you are. You're them.
And so it's super hard, it's super difficult, but super important to say something like, you know what? Oh yeah, I've heard that Johnny says that about me. And you know what? He's wrong, but I can understand why he would think that, because the one encounter I had with Johnny, I happened to be covered with dirt. I had just changed a tire. And so when he's saying, you know what, that I only clean up for good things, it's because he only saw me when I had just finished changing the tire.
You know what? And you know what? I know you told me, I don't want to say anything bad about that person, but I had a bad experience with them.
Yeah.
I was having an off day.
Right.
And they caught me at my worst. And you know what? I took the situation personal.
Yeah.
And I didn't practice D-tip in that moment. And they
So
saw me
whatever it is,
respond.
or not say anything. Like, you know what? I do know that that's what they're saying about me, and I just don't have anything to say about that. So, and then you change the subject, right?
Yep.
And so if you can't find a point to say something positive about them, change the subject and just acknowledge that, yeah, I know that's what they're saying. It's not true, but you know what? I don't have anything
The
else to say
courage and
about
the strength is to say something great about them, because everybody has great features, whether they're haters or not. They got something great about them. It's our job as Tyros, right? Listen, dads, our job is to point that out with anybody. Perfect strangers, whoever they are. You know what? Say, you know what? I know that's what Johnny said about me, but you know what? He's a great guy. He really is.
Right.
He doesn't realize it, because remember, signs and symbols, Tyros, are what? For the conscious man. We are awake, but at one time in our life, we were them.
Right.
We were asleep. So don't hold it against them.
Right. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to wrap it all up in our final segment. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Tyro Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You'll begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. Tyro Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine Tiarina's own personal experiences. Tyro Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of Tyro, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a Tyro, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to Tyro TV. I'm Ron Tiarina.
And I'm Cathy Tiarina.
And today we're talking about how to ignore those who hate on you.
Ooh, it's a big deal. Because if you don't want to be stopped in pursuit of your dreams, in pursuit of your new legacy, you have got to learn to ignore the haters around you.
You can't let them tell you can't.
Right,
You
cannot.
You can't buy into that. It might be your mom, it might be your dad, it might be your brother, it might be your best friend. You know who it is in your life right now. You cannot let them stop you, Dad, listen, if you're still affiliated with a gang inside the joint, Dad, listen to me. You got kids out there and you're allowing them to tell you how to run your life, and you got children out there counting on you to be a father, and you're still caught up in that mess, running with gangs or running with a clique that you know mean nothing but terrible things in your life.
That mean destruction to you and your reputation and your destiny.
You need to walk away. You need to break free of that. You need to figure that out and get away from there, because your children are counting on you. These people that are trying to keep you from becoming successful, we call them haters. If they're not celebrating you, they're hating on you. Don't stay where you're tolerated. Go where you're celebrated.
Right. And celebrated means that people want the absolute best for you. And that's not your haters. We gave you some great tips and tools on how to actually ignore your haters, right? To actually acknowledge the things that they're saying and think about, is there any truth in that? Is that something I need to work on, right?
And that's key to examining yourself, Dad. Don't take it personal. They're there in your life to help you become better, whether they're conscious of it or not. Right? If you can take a step back and you can look at the situation that you find yourself in, maybe you're in a disagreement or confrontation with somebody, and if you can remove yourself from the situation, say, okay, how did I get myself in here? Right? How do I turn this around where I celebrate this individual and I can salvage the relationship to where we grow from it, and versus rather that I take my basketball and go home, because that's in the past. That's what I used to do. I never wanted to. I would walk away from friendships that were powerful because we didn't agree on something, and then I would carry it with me a year, 2, 3 years later, and then we never resolved it and I never grew.
And and you talked about 2 other ones that we talked about when we talked about the 4, and you just now talked about celebrating other people, right?
Yep.
And celebrating their success. And another one that you just now talked about was you talked about, you know what, don't say bad things about the person and the people that are hating on you. If there's something positive you can say it. If you don't have anything good to say, stop, say nothing.
We talked about also on number 2 actually was let your haters be your motivators. You know, really understand their purpose in their role in your life. They're there for a reason.
Right.
They may not be aware of it. They're there to help you. Utilize them as the fuel to your success.
But you are the champion of your own life, and you have the power to create your own destiny. You cannot let your haters create roadblocks that actually stop you from doing what you want to do and becoming who you want to become.
And I also remember Cathy, that we talked about let your success speak
for
louder.
itself.
Yeah, let it speak louder than you trying to repel vocally the haters.
Don't argue, don't defend yourself. Let your success speak for itself. That's absolutely right.
And that's what we wanted to say to you guys. Listen, you guys are on a path of success right now. You're sitting there watching Tyro TV. That's telling us that you want something new in your life, you want something better, and you're willing to do whatever it takes to get there.
And your kids are counting on you, Dad. Your kids are counting on you to create a brand new legacy, to not let obstacles, haters stop you, because when they watch you overcome that, then they are empowered to have the courage to continue on their passion and their legacy as well.
Let me take that one more step further before we wrap this up, because we're talking about not only you as a family man, dad, and you have your kids. You know, society is counting on you.
That's right.
When you come home and you hit the streets, they are counting on you because, listen, whether you like it or not, and this is the truth, the taxpayers have paid for your stay, right? Somebody is investing dollars for your rehabilitation. Somebody's investing dollars to you come out there better.
And it doesn't matter whether they do it because out of hatefulness. It doesn't matter what their motive was, right? You get the opportunity to create the opportunity for you to become something better and something greater. Take advantage of it.
So really, I mean, I'm excited to see what comes out of your experience, because you are in a place where you get to reinvent yourself, redefine your future, and really reinvest in your community and your children.
So we want to take this time to just thank you for allowing us to be part of your journey. We hope, and actually we really are convinced that there's something that was said today that's going to help you become a better dad, a better husband, a better employee as you transition out and back into your home.
You know, I want to say before I close out is, my name is Ron Tirina, and I am a Tyro, right? And so until next time, always remember,
that
we are rooting for you.